Hi, and welcome to another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist. I am your host, Dennis Richkovsky. Some of you recognize me as the co-owner of Flip Flops Donuts, and some of you will recognize me as your broker of real estate who specializes in waterfront and waterview properties along the Crystal Coast, especially on boat banks and in my town of Emerald Isle, North Carolina. On this channel, you will find essential information from the inside scoops on buying and selling houses to how to live with the ocean, rivers, and sounds that define the Crystal Coast. Today's episode examines the current status of the Cape Lookout Lighthouse. Whether you visit here occasionally or live here full-time, getting to know about this famous structure and how you can visit it is a story worth telling. Before I begin, please subscribe to my video channel now or at the end of this episode. A short 3-mile boat ride from either Harkers Island or Beaufort brings you to the 3 barrier islands that comprise Cape Lookout National Seashore. In 2 previous episodes, I've taken you to the northernmost island, Portsmouth, and to the southernmost island, Shackelford, where horse watching, shelling, fishing, birding, camping, and touring historic villages are among the activities available to everyone. This episode is all about Corebanks, the middle island that is home to Cape Lookout Lighthouse. In the lighthouse area, you can sunbathe on the beach, swim in the ocean, tour the Keeper's Quarters Museum, visit the Light Station Visitor Center, or perhaps climb the lighthouse. More on that later. Swimming is a popular activity at Cape Lookout National Seashore, especially in the summer when water temperatures can reach 80 degrees Fahrenheit. But please be aware that there are no lifeguards on any of the beaches on Cape Lookout National Seashore. Swimming in the ocean is not like swimming in a lake or a pond. Currents, tide changes, wind, waves, and other factors should be considered when choosing if and when or where to swim. Before going into water, spend a few moments watching the waves. Wave patterns are a good indicator of the presence of currents, sandbars, and deep water troughs. Always swim with a buddy. Children should only swim under adult supervision. And watch the weather, please. It can change quickly on these Outer Bank islands. Don't swim during thunderstorms, please. And of course, lightning is extremely dangerous too, and it does strike the beaches and the water. Check for rip currents advisories at the Park Visitor Center or on NOAA's beach forecast. And do not jump or dive from the docks at any tide height. The water may be shallower than you think, and barnacles attached to the dock pilings can cut your hands and feet. For these reasons, the water around the passenger ferry dock in the lighthouse area is closed to all swimmers. The closed area is indicated with ropes and buoys. And please be alert for boats coming in to anchor. They may not see you in the water. If swimming sounds a tad daunting, take time to explore the lighthouse area instead. While the lighthouse was and is a central part of any light station, many other structures were vital to its operation. From housing for keepers to storage for fuel, these ancillary buildings allowed for smooth operation of the lighthouse and helped to ensure that the beacon would be ready to warn mariners away from dangerous waters. You can visit the Lighthouse Visitor Center located on the boardwalk leading to and from the ferry dock. It is open seasonally, daily from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Inside, you will find informational material, a bookstore, restrooms, outdoor rinse-off area, shade shelter, first aid, and a wheelchair rental. Evidence of the keeper's house is also visible, if you know where to look. Part of the foundation of the first keeper's quarters can be seen on a sand dune in the lighthouse area. A second keeper's quarters was constructed in 1873. Today, this keeper's quarters serves as a museum, giving you and all other visitors a glimpse into the lives of lighthouse keepers and surfmen of the U.S. Life-Saving Services. This museum is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., 7 days a week during the spring, summer, and fall. In response to a need for more housing, a third keeper's quarters was built in 1907. It housed the primary keeper and his family from the fall of 1907 until the tower was automated in 1950. Although the house is brown today, it was whitewashed in historic photos. In 1957, this house was deemed surplus and sold to Dr. Graham Barden Jr., which is why it is often called the Barden House. It was moved a mile or so southwest of the lighthouse to the Cape Lookout Village in 1957, and this building is currently closed to the public. A brick cistern was built around the time the keeper's quarters was built in 1907. Rainwater was funneled from the gutters on the house and filled the cistern with fresh water. Soon after this cistern was built, additional cisterns were added to both sides of the 1873 keeper's quarters. Prior to that, the keepers got their water from a shallow well. All three cisterns remain today, but they are no longer in use. The lighthouse required a large amount of oil to keep it burning, but oil couldn't be stored in the lighthouse itself because a single spark could ignite a fire or explosion. So oil was stored in a separate structure. The first was made of iron and constructed in 1897. In the 1930s, that structure was replaced with a concrete oil house that is open today. Visitors should use caution when entering the shed, as the floor is uneven and may contain debris from the structure itself. Before air conditioning, cooking indoors during the summer made a house very hot. To solve this problem and to reduce the danger of fire, a summer kitchen was built for the head lighthouse keeper and his family. This summer kitchen was built with an attached woodshed. In the late 1930s, this building was converted to house the generator and batteries for the radio beacon. Today, this building is used for storage and is closed to the public. Then there is the lighthouse itself. Unfortunately, the Cape Lookout Lighthouse is closed for climbing this year. During a pre-season safety inspection in February 2021, engineers discovered serious concerns with some structural elements. To address these issues and other needed repairs, a major renovation of Cape Lookout Lighthouse began in the fall of 2021. Renovations expect to take 2 years to complete. When the lighthouse reopens in the year 2023, exact date to be determined, the following information can help you plan for your visit to the lighthouse. The Cape Lookout Lighthouse is generally open for climbing from the third week in May to the third weekend in September. During the season, the lighthouse is open for climbing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Normally, the lighthouse is closed for climbing on Monday and Tuesday. However, the lighthouse is open on 2 Mondays: the Monday of Memorial Day and the Monday of Labor Day for climbing. Tickets are required to climb the lighthouse. Regular admission is $10 with reduced fees for children, seniors, and visitors with permanent disabilities. Tickets may be purchased from Wednesday through Sunday at the Light Station Visitor Center during normal operating hours. Tickets are sold on a first-come, first-served basis, and each ticket is good only for the day and time stamped on the ticket. Ticket holders should arrive at the lighthouse 10 minutes before their scheduled climb. Tickets will not be refunded for late arriving guests. The safety limit of 10 people in the upper level of the lighthouse was established by engineers after they examined the structure several years ago. The climb to the top is strenuous. It may be hot, humid, noisy, and dim inside the lighthouse. Climbing the 207 steps, that's right, 207 steps to the gallery is roughly equal to climbing a 12-story building. The stairs are narrow, and groups going up will share the same stairs with groups returning down to the bottom. Visitors with heart, respiratory, or other medical conditions, or who have trouble climbing stairs in general, should probably not attempt the climb. Visitors who do not wish to climb can view the 4 outside view from the top exhibits located near the lighthouse keeper's quarters. The panoramas located in the keeper's quarters museum and online panoramas. Shoes are required of all climbers, and every climber must be at least 44 inches tall. And one last thing. Be sure to bring all the food, water, and supplies you need, and carry your trash out of the park when visiting these remote beaches that comprise the Cape Lookout National Seashore. To learn more about the Cape Lookout National Seashore, subscribe to my newsletter by texting your email address to 919-308-2292, or sign up for my blog on my website, www.eihomesforsale.com, and please subscribe to Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist on YouTube at the end of this video. Stay well and stay safe. So come on down. Please subscribe to my channel now, and definitely return next week to the same bat channel at the same bat time of 9 a.m. on Thursday for another episode of Emerald Isle Vacation Home Specialist.